How's everybody doing out there? Push that record button. Still alive. Some of you were asking. Haven't been making many videos lately, but working on some motors, some cylinder heads, race stuff. Got the cylinder heads off Noel's Pro Mod car. He had a little incident, had some plugged injectors or bad tune-up, had the pickup go bad in the distributor, and it's only got 8 pickups for the timing, 2 per cylinder. So when you start losing reference point, the timing starts getting out of control and starts doing stuff that you don't put in the computer. And it took a few runs to figure that out, and once we got the distributor changed and all that stuff, the damage was already done. So we're freshening the motor up, building another spare and a backup motor, trying to go to Texas, and want to try to get some stuff done, get the stuff back in shape. So I had to put one exhaust seat in. It sort of sunk the exhaust seat area on these. They don't have a lot of shelf under the seat on these CB heads. There's not a lot of turn here. That's why I like the 502. It has a raised floor, and most of your flow is on the top of the port anyway, so the raised floor works really good if you can port it, get a nice radius on it. This has got a real short turn. It's real hard to get that smoothed out. You don't like to take any material out of there anyway, because this is what happens if the tune-up goes bad. The seat sinks on this side. So that's what happened here. The seats sunk on one side. Of course, we don't have any valve seal when that happens, and lost the exhaust seal. So we also broke a valve guide, and that went through the turbo and trashed the turbo. So I eliminated the valve guides out of the exhaust port. I do that sometimes on turbo stuff because if it gets hot in there, we use a stainless steel valve and it'll just bend, and we can pop a valve in there and go on. But if it bends with a guide hanging in the exhaust port, it breaks that guide off, and that shit goes through the motor, and then you got catastrophic failure. So the little bit of support that gives us, I'm willing to sacrifice so I don't eat another $2,700 turbo. So we're gonna make these a little bigger. The car right now runs pretty much consistent when it's not breaking up and runs right. It's a 590, 589 car, high 590s. But we have to run it a little too hard, I think. So we've made the decision to enhance cylinder heads. These were originally just CB Performance oval port, CNC oval port pluses. It's the cheapest head you can buy that you can put a 44 millimeter intake valve in. So the reasoning behind that, these used to be Nitro Mike's heads. Mike passed on, but his parts are gonna go 5s off the trailer. I promised him. So these heads are easy to replace. You used to be able to buy just one of them, and I don't think you can do that anymore. So that's why we did that. And then when I was racing with Mike, he didn't like to port anything, touch anything. So they were right out of the box. And once Noel took the program over, we started wanting to go faster. So we just started enhancing the cylinder heads a little at a time. And now we're going to make an intake manifold so we can make the port a little larger. We've had a restriction because of the injection system we were using has sort of small manifolds. It was a really old system. So we're going to change over to Fuel Tech and electronic injectors, so we can manipulate our injector pulse and all that good stuff that you like to do that you can't do with a manual injection. You got the jet in there and you can do the return to the tank, and then you got what you got when it's on boost, when you can enrich it. But the electronic stuff's a lot more probably user friendly, and also the Fuel Tech I think is going to be way more easy to data log than the MSD. It's very hard to open the files on that stuff. You know what I mean? Am I recording? I think I'm recording. I don't know. Probably nobody listening. But anyway, I'm gonna let this stuff dry. That's a blue. You know, it's a Toolmaker ink. Dykem. It's got a couple different names. Anyway, you can use it to paint the port and put your gasket on. Usually how I do cylinder heads is I'll port one, make it like I want it, and I'll get it, you know, I'm still working on it, but it's close to where it's going to be because I don't want to compromise my seal here. So I can only go so big. We don't use a gasket, we silicone the manifold right to the head. That has proven to be much more reliable than a gasket. So, but I'm using the gasket just so I can get the port shape. And this is the head here. Oh, I've already enhanced this one. So it's pretty sweet. I think it should run pretty good. And this head's still like brand new. This side of the motor was really happy. So it just took it out on one side of the engine. So we've tried to address everything as far as why it failed. And now we're just ordering parts and trying to get everything ready to go. Anybody has one on any flange cranks out there, leave a comment there because we need a couple of those. The one in the car got a little damage on one of the journals, so we're waiting to hear back from the machine shop on how that's going to go, and hopefully we can salvage that one. They're going to be a little bigger, you know. Like I said, this part's not going to be a lot bigger. It's going to be inside the cylinder head where all the work's done. Try not to compromise this gasket sealing surface, you know, on a boost application because it's got a seal, right? So there's a debate whether really good cylinder heads help on a turbo motor or not. I think they do, but when I was racing with Mike, we got his car to go 608 with these oval port CNC pluses right out of the box. No, not even touching them. No valve job, no nothing. And pretty impressive cylinder head for boost. You know, they aspirated, obviously you're gonna have to have some port volume and all that good stuff. But with boost, you know, you can put 25 pounds on top of this port and it works pretty good, especially with the big valve. So this is the head that was damaged. Like I said, it burned it up in between here, so I made a little seat. Tried to butt them right up together so there's no aluminum there anymore because it burned that up a little bit. And then I had to put a seat here. So, but I think it'll be okay. I think we'll be good to go. I think these will be just fine. Trying to send this pair of heads out to Jeff Dunham, you know, on YouTube. If anybody knows how to get a hold of him, let me know, man. I've been trying to get a hold of him. I'm not very proficient when it comes to computer stuff. I do have a Facebook now, so you can get a hold of me there and leave a message. Not really building too many motors anymore unless it's a brand new motor. No more used stuff. Just not really into that anymore. The use case thing and the line boring stuff, I don't really want to debate it, and I think it's just better if I'll stick to the people that want brand new stuff and or, you know, guys that want race stuff to blow up and repeat. But I'm enjoying this. Been working on my car a little bit. I'm going to try to get this car going. We got another car over there that we're going to try to get going. So I got 2 turbo cars, and one had the Fuel Tech 400 on it, which was obsolete, come to find out. So I've got the new Fuel Tech, but the car has to be wired, and there's a lot of work to do. You know, a lot of people have to get involved to make it all come true or happen. So I just want to get the cylinder heads done and build a couple backup motors. So I got one done over here, one done over there. Whoa, shoo, one there. Got my transmission put back together. I want to say thank you to Noel and Scooter down at R&S. I I messed the gearbox up on this. I tried to just do some maintenance on it. This car's never backed up, this box, okay? So this is a early model gearbox and a late model case. And apparently when you do that, the reverse hits the case, you know, where the idler shaft's at. So, you know, you just have to hold it and you can back up. I don't do a burnout personally. In my turbo car, I just go right to the starting line, maybe clean the tire off, depending, but no burnout ever. And it just doesn't back up. You know, you could hold it in reverse and it would try to, you know, spit the shifter out of your hand. So it had 58 passes on it. I decided to take it apart, you know, in all my infinite wisdom. And I pulled it apart and I'm like, wow, man, I'll just throw a slider in there and a reverse, because I didn't really understand the concept of it hitting the gearbox until Noel told me, you know. So I tried to do all that. Regardless, to say when you have an FTC first gear, you have to machine the slider down and narrow it, and I didn't do that. So when I put it all together, it crushed the bearing, and you know, it cascaded. So I had to get Scooter to bail me out, and he bailed me out on the gearbox. And then we got a little stump on the setting the ring gear up, but I got that. I'm not too bad at the ring gear part, the gearbox part, you know. This box particularly, you know, it really seems to mess with me. But the forward motion's really good. It's really sweet again, but not so much on the backup. You know, it sounds really bad. You know, it's grindy. Sounds like it's grinding something in there. But I'm going with that. I got another backup one over here. No aftermarket main shaft on that. You know, that's just like put it in the car and you know, put 20 pounds of air in the tires and get through the next round type of deal. I built a bus box for the bus. That's the 78 millimeter crank there. You got another aluminum case down here. You need to get it all torqued up, check all the specs on it, run the bore gauge through it, see if it's round, and qualify that one, and we can put that together for a spare. I'd like to get a flange crank for this one. That's why, you know, I asked if anybody knew where one was available. And preferably like a bug pack, not a CB performance crank. But that motor's been done for a while over there. That's another spare. That's the one out of my turbo car. That's a 82 by 94. Actually, somebody commented about bug pack rods. That motor has a set of bug pack rods that I bought from Gene. Back when he was alive, he was real tight with Scooter, and he did a set of rods for me. I remember I paid $250 at the time for the bug pack rods, and the bolts were $450, the rod bolts, the upgrade. So you used to have to put Corella bolts in these. It's a 5/16 bolt. Normally on the aftermarket stuff, I try to use a 3/8 bolt on anything now. I'm sure you could get those bolts if you call Berg, probably. You know, they probably still sell them with their jet titanium rods and their Corella stuff that they sell. That's where you get the bolt upgrade for those bug pack rods, or used to. Got these heads done. These were the 040s. These are for the 1600 project. So we're going to do something with these. I got to get the guides fit back in, but they're all ported. These are from Moco's. The guides fell out of them, so it's like, a good opportunity to port them, make set of cylinder heads out of them, and that's what I did. And yeah, this is another thing that I found when I took the motor apart. This is interesting. This is a lock right here. Let me see. These are locks that hold the. Oh man, this is terrible. So these are our valve locks. These hold your retainer. These go on the valve stem, and they keep the retainer from coming off. And one of them was 2-piece. So right there, this one had 3 keepers. So that's not good. I don't know if that's an indication that we got a material issue. Might be able to go aftermarket to like Comp Cam or something and get a better lock. For now, I ordered some more from CB. We ordered another set of cylinder heads so we can duplicate these. And I'm waiting on valves to come in. So I figured I'd go ahead and port these while I was waiting. And then also did another single port set of heads. I duplicated Matt's project. I really liked what he did, so I did a set of heads. I ordered a set of titanium valves for the single port heads, and that's going to be a turbo streetcar deal, sort of like his. His ran really good. It ran 13s, which I thought was pretty damn impressive for a single valve spring, single port with one carburetor, a draw-through deal. So, I'll put a better turbo and torture a little harder probably, but I'm going to see what I can get out of a single port head. So those are really ported to the max, and that'll be a fun project. But that's what's going on. Now you guys are all caught up. Hope everybody's having a really good time out there. It's graduation day for Holly. Whoop. So, any of you guys that have been subscribed for a really long time, and you've been here through my accident,